Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Your Morning Drive. Live from the Fireworks Studio in Marietta, Georgia. A big shout out to Fireworks for having us today. They offer a creative co-working space dedicated to uplifting and supporting the local community. You can try their space yourself with code DRIVE. When you check out with them, you can try the space. You can get a free day pass. Or if you come in and meet them rather than book online, just tell them Logan sent you from the podcast and they will take care of you from there. Before we dive in, hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode on whatever platform you're on: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe, hit the whatever button it takes for you to get new episodes delivered to you every Wednesday. Also, a 5-star review helps, believe it or not. For updates and behind the scenes fun, follow on social media: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Clips, episode announcements, sponsor information, guest behind the scenes stuff, everything in between. Social media, everything is just at Your Morning Drive. If you want merch, we recently announced a t-shirt design for Your Morning Drive. So if you're interested and want to go to support the show while also looking and feeling good in our t-shirt, go to hammerheadcreations.com/shop to get yours. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's get started. My guest today is a lifelong fan of Georgia Tech and Atlanta sports thanks to his dad's influence. Sports has always been a central part of his life, and that passion shows. His room features 18 jerseys and around 100 scarves covering the walls and ceiling. He is currently a junior at KSU studying marketing with hands-on experience running the social media for Owl Inn on behalf of New Realm Brewing. His background includes a variety of roles from fast food to warehouse to high school, 3 internships at Georgia Tech. In college, he spends 1.5 years as a marketing intern at Schnabel, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, a geotechnical engineering firm, gaining valuable insight into the corporate side of branding and communication. Please welcome my new friend, Colin Sheppard.
Thank you for having me, Logan. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, thank you for being here. I'm hyped that you're here. The hype is real. Jeff has been hyping you up to me.
For some reason, when I wrote that, I was a junior. I'm now a rising senior.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last year of college, I'm ready for it. Just getting money this summer just to pay for it. But yeah.
Are you paying for school yourself?
So, my actual school, yes. My parents helped me out with like rent and everything, or the mortgage, but yeah.
Sure. So do you live in a house with a few guys or something?
No, or me and my sister, we bought a house with my dad together. So I used money from stocks that I had in high school from working in high school. Money that got put into Microsoft, got a pretty good return on it. So I was able to use that for my part of the down payment. And then once I graduate, obviously, then I'll just keep paying that, or we might sell the house, just depending on what type of job I get after college.
Wow. So there's even stuff to unpack there. So you got stocks when you were in high school, when you were working in high school.
Yeah. So when I was 15, my dad, he was like, I'm going to take the money that I have saved up for your college and I'm going to put it in, what is it called? It's basically where you can own stocks as a kid as long as your parent like runs it,
or like Acorn or something like that.
No, it's Schnabel.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, not Schnabel. Sorry, Schwab. Schwab. Yeah, so it's just a Schwab account, custodial account. That's what it's called.
Custodial.
Yeah, custodial. So my parents or my dad just has to like co-sign on it basically.
Yeah.
For me to be able to own stocks. So I had Microsoft and I think NVIDIA, but that one didn't do as well. Microsoft, I had like 19 shares at like 110, and we sold them at 350.
Oh shit!
So it was like my part of the down payment was like maybe $9,000, something like that. I think I also sold some of the NVIDIA stock as well. So just being able to do that and living with my sister. She's graduated. She's 3.5 years older than me, and she's a nurse at CHOA. So she's able to afford her part, obviously. And then it's a townhouse, and there's like one bedroom at the bottom, and just I have a friend renting right now. He's going to move back in with his parents. And then one of the Banana Boys is going to join me this August, and he's going to live there.
So your sister lives there still as well?
Yeah. So
you, your sister, and then your Banana Boy are going to be living there this fall.
Exactly.
Wow. What's that like living with your sister?
I mean, it's interesting. She works night shift, so I don't see her for like half the week. And then I feel like the other half of the week, she's just out. So I mean, it's honestly not that bad. I mean, I keep up with a lot of the cleaning and stuff. I mean, I enjoy cleaning, so that's not like a big issue for me. I mean, we keep the house pretty intact.
Are you a pretty clean kind of guy?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty meticulous with clean spaces?
Yeah, exactly. So our living room is really nice. One of my other banana friends, he was like, I love coming over to your place because it's always nice and clean. I feel like any like other like college apartment or whatever that I've been in, it's just disgusting.
Yeah. What is it about college kids and they're just like, I'm not going to clean this shit?
Like first time living on your own and you don't realize how much your parents clean and do for you that you don't realize. Like obviously you have chores and stuff, but like cleaning toilets and stuff, cleaning a shower. I've been in college showers that are just disgustingly moldy. And I can't stand that. I always clean my shower like at least once a month, always changing the shower thing. But I mean, I just like stuff to be clean and neat. And
you're going to make some lady or man, don't know what your dig is,
lady,
very happy one day when she asks you how often you clean. You say, yeah, I clean my shower. When I met my wife, I was like, yeah, I clean the shower. No. She cleans the shower because she knows if I do it, I'm not going to hit that level of detail. She just cleaned the shower the other day. Shouts to you. She said it was getting dirty. My definition of dirty is apparently not what hers was, but hey, that's okay. I do my things and she does her things.
Yeah, I get that from my mom. She's always been great upkeep of the house that my parents live in. I mean, she's always kept a nice and tidy house and organized everything. Everything's always where it needs to be.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So, dude, I mean, Colin, nice to meet you, dude. Yeah. I mean, we've never met. Similar to most of my guests, we've never met. Tell me about yourself, dude. I mean, like, so you're in college, you're a rising senior. Your parents, I assume, live locally. You've been born and raised here? Yeah, Peachtree Corners. I lived in Lawrenceville for like the first year of my life. Out. Yeah. Lawrenceville. For the first year of my life, obviously I don't remember that. And then my parents moved to Peachtree Corners and I've lived in the same house ever since, which is really nice. I mean, getting to stay in the same school and having a lot of the same friends since I was 3, 4, 5 years old going into elementary school. I've kept a lot of those friendships around. I mean, I was never the person to have like a huge group of friends. I've always just kept kind of the same group of 5 or 6 people. Obviously college, I've expanded that a little bit. The Banana Boys were all friends. I know we're going to talk about that later. The listeners are probably confused of what that means, but we'll get to that. No, the Banana Boys is not a band, although it could be considered a band, depending on your definition of band. Only a band of mischiefs. Yeah, I mean, Philip, he plays the saxophone, I think. Cole can sing. He's in a music frat, so... A music frat. Yeah. I didn't even know that existed. The thing. A music frat. There's 2 at Kennesaw. Can't even remember the names. I think KK is one, and then I can't even remember the other one that he's in. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, we'll talk about the Banana Boys in a second. So, lived in Georgia your whole life then. Yep. Siblings? You have a sister. Anybody else? You and the sis? Older sister. Cool. Yep. Shouts to sis. Shouts to Choa. So so it's a pretty tight-knit family, pretty good relationships all around. I assume with you buying a house with your sister, pretty close to be able to live with each other. Because I know that some things that, I mean, I wouldn't want to live with my sister. No offense. She probably wouldn't want to live with me either. Yeah. I mean, once I graduate, she can kind of do whatever if she wants to like move to downtown Atlanta, because I know she likes the nightlife a little bit more doing that. So she might move out once I graduate, because then we'll be able to afford it, because then I can take on that. I can take on that higher payment, and then I can have 2 roommates and then just pay for the rest of the mortgage like that. That makes sense. Yeah. Also, cheers, dude. Thanks for coming. Thank you. The coaster came with you, but that's okay. Condensation. Cheers, man. Oh my God. This shows you how groggy I was. People who are watching on video, because this is a visual show. Subscribe on YouTube. I did the cheers. I brought the glass back and I did this as if I was trying to take a sip of the microphone. That shows you how little out of it I am. I had a wild weekend.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're very close. It hasn't really been an issue living with her. I mean, I don't see a lot of her, so it's not that big of an issue, and she keeps clean for the most part, so it's not really a problem. And our roommate right now, he's a comedian, so he's out he's not a huge comedian, but he got a what is it called? A residency at the Laughing Skull Lounge.
Good for him.
For the past 6 months. So
what's his name?
Really good. Case Hand.
Case Hand. I know a guy who's got a residency at the Laughing Skull as well.
Yeah. He also he works at the Alley Stage, just right here in Marietta. So he's doing great. I've went and saw one of his shows, and I need to go to more. Yeah.
Wow, good for him.
He's really good. He always, when I do see him, when he comes up and eats either Zaxby's or Panda Express, those are his 2 meals that he brings home. He always asks me about jokes, gets my opinion on them sometimes, and just chat for a little bit, and then he goes back downstairs. But I mean, he's sleeping most of the day, and then because he's out till 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow, good for him. That's really cool. The comedy thing.
Yeah.
So sports. I mean, sorry, brain fart there. Been obsessed with sports your whole life? Big sports guy?
I played soccer growing up, baseball, and then started middle school. I got into tennis, and I've been playing tennis since then. The high school that I went to was it was a new high school. So Norcross High School, it had 4,000 students by the time I was getting into 8th grade. So they built a new STEM school to basically kind of relieve some of Norcross, because they had a ton of trailers, and that's where my sister went. So they would have classes in trailers. They just had way too many people for that kind of district. So I was part of the first class that got to go to this new STEM school. The only downside is that they didn't have sports, and you couldn't play sports at Norcross, even though it was a half mile away from the school. So I probably would have played varsity tennis at Norcross if I hadn't had gone to Paul Duke. But of course, the year after I graduated, they let Paul Duke kids play sports at Norcross. And I was like, well, whatever. But I played with a lot of the kids on the varsity team, in our neighborhood league or leagues that we played in. So I practiced with a lot of them too. But yeah, so my dad went to Georgia Tech. So I grew up a Georgia Tech fan. Going to football games on Saturdays, and then the Falcons, of course. Atlanta sports through and through. I followed and worst day of my life, Super Bowl, 2017. Yeah, just a terrible night. My mom still made me go to school the next day, and I cried the whole day.
Really?
I slept in my jersey. I wore it the next day to school because I didn't want to change. Cried the entire day. It was absolutely awful, and almost punched a kid because he was a Patriots fan and he was in my face, and I was like, better watch out,
Better catch his hands, bro. It's not the day.
Yeah. So, but I followed the Braves and the Hawks. They're a little more inaccessible, TV wise. It's a little harder. Yeah. 1, because they have so many games, and 2, you're just not able to access those games because they're on regional sports networks. And I do have a big problem with that. And then when Atlanta United came into the league in 2017, I've been a fan of them. Obviously, I watched soccer growing up, but I never had a local team to cheer for. The closest team, I think, in the MLS at that point was maybe DC United. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because Nashville came after, Charlotte came after us. Yeah, it wasn't. Atlanta was kind of the first team of the South, kind of like the Braves are the baseball team of the South as well. So
yeah, I wonder why Atlanta. I mean, there's a lot of towns. I mean, like you said, Nashville's got one, Charlotte's got one now, but it's very interesting to have seen the rise of soccer popularity the last few years. I've never been to an Atlanta United game. I need to go. I actually just did an episode with somebody who has season tickets, and he was like, dude, I'll bring you. And I was like, yeah, bet. Sounds great.
The supporter section is awesome.
It's just off the chain. Just
jumping around the whole time, beer flying everywhere when we score. It's just a ton of fun. And the tailgate before is just awesome. You pay $15 to get in, or to get drinks. You get a drink pass, basically. A ton of fun. Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I've always been jealous of like the sports lifestyle because, to be honest, like growing up, like I didn't give a diddly damn about sports. I mean, my two younger siblings were athletes. My parents were both athletes, but like me, it just like missed the mark, I guess.
Okay.
I was always into like, I would much rather like play video games all day. Like that was my thing. My siblings would love video games too, but they would also like primarily love the sports that they were playing. Mm-hmm. But like me, I tried like 6 different sports. I tried soccer, failed, tried t-ball, failed, tried swimming, even failed at that, track and field, failed at that. Yep. So after a while, I was like, maybe sports just aren't meant for me. But now, of course, I get to the point where like I can watch sports and like enjoy them. And like I've always loved, even like not loving sports growing up, going to a sporting like event, like going to a basketball game, going to a football game, baseball game, whatever it is, tons of fun. Like there's nothing more fun than like being in an arena, like hearing the buzzers, hearing people scream and cheer. Like it's electric. Yeah. But like I was always jealous of like now my friends will like get together and they'll talk about like, once they start whipping out like players' names and shit, that's when I'm like, all right, I have no idea what's going on. They're like, oh, what do you think of Bobby Brown going over to the, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know who Bobby Brown is. I'm sure he's a nice fella, but I don't give a shit. But I'm jealous. I wish I kind of did give a shit because it me being a real social guy, it means that I have to just take a backseat in a lot of conversations. And I don't like doing that. That's why I have a podcast.
Yeah, podcast is where you get to kind of learn maybe about sports. I mean, you had the season ticket holder on. Yeah. But
dude, I've learned so much about sports that I didn't even realize. I mean, sports are crazy. It's such a huge economy stream, of course, too. Yeah. I mean, it's just insane how much sporting events like do for local economies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy. And I mean, Atlanta, we got the Club World Cup starting in a week and a half. Atlanta's one of the sites, and that's obviously kind of a warm up to the World Cup coming next year. And I'm just extremely excited for that, to be able to hopefully go to a couple games. It's just going to be, I mean, I've only gone to maybe 2 or 3 United States men's national team matches and 1 women's team match, because they just played in Atlanta last year for the first time in like 11 years. So I finally got to go see them play against Japan, and that was a really fun experience. And the tickets were pretty cheap too. And they were like $40. That's the other thing about Atlanta United, is that it's cheap, especially like when they're doing bad. A weeknight game, you could get a ticket for the supporter section for like $10. Wow. And Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I love Arthur Blank so much just because of how he does the concession pricing. Have you been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
I have. I didn't want to dunk on you or anything, but I worked an internship at the company who built Mercedes-Benz. And so I worked there while they were building the stadium and got to do like VIP tours and shit of like the locker. Of course, everything wasn't finished, but like got to see the locker rooms and walk around in the stadium before it was done. But like the one thing they were like talking so big about during the construction is like, these are going to be the cheapest concessions in all of sports. Like every stadium should and maybe will follow us because like, dude, I remember going to a game. It was an Auburn versus UCF game.
The Peach Bowl. Yeah. In 2017. Went to that
game and I got like 2 hot dogs, some nachos, and a drink for like $7. Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah, drinks are $2. Or drinks are, I think, $1.50. Hot dogs are $2. It's
wild.
Popcorn $2. It's because they do it all in house, so they keep the concessions. Most of the stadiums, they don't control the prices themselves because they rent it out to third parties, just because it's easier to manage. But Mercedes-Benz, one, sells the most volume-wise, of course, but they also make the most money out of, I'm pretty sure, all 32 NFL teams. I think that's a stat, might be wrong, but I feel like I read that somewhere. But either way, they sell a lot and they make a lot of money off of it, just because if you have I think one time I went to a Braves game last year and like a hot dog and a Sprite was like $18. Yeah. Like, why? Just why? Because you get maybe like a third of the people buying concessions, or maybe like half, instead of every single person that's going to the stadium at Mercedes-Benz is probably going to buy something just because it's cheap and convenient. So you kind of offset that price of like the higher price.
Well, yeah, you got to think about your customers. I mean, you're thinking about the fact that most people, when they save up enough money to go to a professional sporting event, like it's an experience for them. Like it's a whole day thing, like especially for lower income homes that can't afford to go to sporting events, like to be able to go is a big deal for some people. And then they get in the door and it's like, yeah, you want a hot dog and a drink, that's $18. It's like all those families are hitting the drive-through on the way to the game and eating. Like that's how we were as young kids when we couldn't afford it. I mean, we would go to the drive-through and eat McDonald's on the way to a sporting game because it was going to be for a family of 5, 3 kids. I mean, it was going to be $80 for the whole family to eat. And that's a lot of money back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, me and my dad would go to drive-thrus and stuff before Georgia Tech games because like, why are you not going to spend that much on food?
And you'd think that like the Braves would learn this lesson from Mercedes-Benz of like, hey, like you're going to sell double the amount of concessions that you normally would. I always think about this with movie theaters too. Yeah. It's like, bro, if you drop those prices, it'll make so much more money in the long run.
I think NCG, they opened up a theater when they opened up one in Peachtree Corners and everybody went there because they had unlimited popcorn, snacks, and drinks or candy and drinks for a pretty like decent price. And if you split it with somebody, it's even cheaper. And their movie tickets were a lot cheaper. I'd go to the movies more if a ticket wasn't $22 something. Like if it was like $5, sure. And then I'd be inclined to get popcorn and a drink. But $22 ticket, it's not worth it. I could pirate it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. You know, the other day me and my wife went to a concert to celebrate the 3rd wedding anniversary. And we went to see Dierks Bentley and Zach Top, which leads me to the next sponsor of this episode, Zach Top. Just kidding. That's not real. In my head leading up to that, I was going to say, if you like cold beer and country music, go see Dierks Bentley and Zach Top on the Broken Branches tour, coming soon to a city near you. And then I was going to make a clip of it and send it to Zach Top and be like, yo, bro, you should get on the podcast. Yeah. But that dude's on top of the world right now. There's no way he's doing the podcast. But it does lead us, though, to the actual next sponsor, something that we've actually been sipping on the entirety of the episode so far, and that's Drink Good Days, everybody. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink format to meet the need for a quality pre-mixed cocktail on any occasion, whether you're at a tailgate or a podcast. Good Days are the canned cocktails for you. Be the first to try their cocktails. Be the first in your friend group to bring these out. You're at the pool. Everyone's drinking the White Claw. Everyone's drinking the Natty Light. Whip out a Good Days. Surprise your friends. Be like, hey, I got some cocktails for us, and they're ready to go. They're in this can. They're fantastic. Colin is sipping on the Better Nights flavor. That's the vodka lime flavor. I'm sitting on their newest flavor, the Longboat, which is a gin and juice flavor. It's my personal favorite. Second favorite has got to be the Better Nights, though. That's their staple flavor. They're great. They've got a vodka cranberry flavor, and they've got a whiskey flavor, too, for your heavier drinkers there. These are 6.4, I think. Yours is 6.4. Mine is 7.4. Oh. And the whiskey one is 8.4, I think. So it's pretty. They'll get you there.
It's good variety.
Very good variety. If you're at the pool, I mean, you could have 2 or 3 of those guys and have a good time. And if you want to try them, if you're curious, they're a local Georgia company founded in Athens. One of their co-founders lives in Athens. One of them lives in Marietta. So local guys, if you want to find where you can purchase Good Days, go to drinkgooddays.com/pages/find us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years or older to drink. But going back to what we were talking about, Colin, I mean, ultimately, Mercedes-Benz was like, they're going to spend enough money to get here, to park, to spend their whole day with us. Let's give them a dining experience that they won't get at any other sporting event. And it works.
Yeah.
It shows.
And they still have and even their more expensive options. Like I've tried, there's one of the smaller stands. It's called the Mac Shack. It's like a brisket mac and cheese bowl with like hot Cheetos. As a kid, I put hot Cheetos on everything.
Wow.
My parents will know that. I put like hot Cheetos on like lasagna and pasta.
What?
I still love me some hot fries, hot Cheetos. But either way, they had like dusting on it. But it's like $11, which is like the price of a hot dog. But that's like a full meal. It's a huge meal and fills you up. And it's still like somewhat cheap. And even like just their specialty restaurants are still like just the normal price of a restaurant. It's not that much more expensive. I think the Chick-fil-A is maybe a little more expensive. It's like $6 for a sandwich instead of, well, actually that's the price of a normal sandwich now. I think maybe like $7, but yeah.
What's your go-to? You walk into a sporting event and I'm like, Colin, you can have anything you want. Like, what's your go-to sporting event snack? Everyone's got one.
Just hot dogs. I've always loved hot dogs as a kid.
Good glizzy? Love a good glizz?
Love a good glizzy. Right now, it's I just went to Atlanta United game, got 2 hot dogs and a soda, and I was pretty good. But that's also, I didn't have much left to eat for the day. I'm dieting, but yeah.
Yeah. True. With your new diet, like that's probably all you had that day.
Oh, no, I had plenty before that. I think I went to Costco and had a hot dog and pizza. Costco, I could not say enough good things about Costco. I love Costco so much. About 4 or 5 times a week for lunch, I go and get a slice of pizza and a hot dog, 1,300 calories, and it comes with a soda, and that's $3.71, and it's cheap because
$3.71.
Have you never been to Costco?
I have a membership to Costco, sir.
Yeah,
it's $3.71 for all of that you just stated.
At the food court. Like when you check out,
I didn't realize it was that cheap.
It's $1.50 for a hot dog and soda. The prices are huge.
I guess I just never looked.
Yeah, it's for a hot. You need to go try the Costco food court.
I have had it when I was a kid because my parents shopped at Costco, and we ate there a lot as a kid. Like that would be like after church, we would go to Costco, and then we would eat at the Costco food court.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize it was that cheap.
Yeah, it's a hot dog and soda, and that's never going to change. Like the old CEO, he threatened to like do some bad things to the new CEO if they ever change the price of that. So for a hot dog and soda, and it's a foot-long hot dog. It's a big hot dog. It's a quarter pound. That's $1.50, and then a slice of pizza, big slice of pizza, like that big, is $1.99. And the whole pizza, I think you get 6 of those big slices, is $10. It's Costco. It's
stupid.
And it's pretty good macros too. The whole meal together is like 50 grams of protein. This one slice pepperoni pizza, I think, is 32 grams of protein. And then the hot dog is 18. So it's pretty good. Most of the stuff right now I eat every day is from Costco because I also have like their chicken bites. It's just like Kirkland brand. It's like a 4-pound bag for like $15.
Oh yeah.
And they're just basically chicken nuggets. I put some Hattie B's seasoning on that, which is like a Nashville hot chicken. Have you ever been to Hattie B's?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. My wife is from Nashville, so I get to dabble here and there.
One of my top meals of all time is Hattie B's. What's it called? The fries.
Yeah.
The fries with the dirty bird fries.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to Hattie B's, I first met my wife's parents, and on our way, like walking into the restaurant, she was like, okay, like you got to realize you don't need to try to like compete with my dad.
Yeah.
He's going to order the hottest food on the menu. Like the kind that you have to sign the waiver for. She's like, you do not need to try to compete with that because I know you and I know that you won't do great with that. And I mean, I had like mild, and he was like laughing at me the whole time. He was like, you pussy. But I mean, maybe he said that.
What spice level do you get now?
Probably still the same.
Mild, yeah.
I mean, when I go to Zaxby's, I toss those tendies in Wimpy.
Okay, I gotcha.
But then again, I'm also a creature of habit because I want to try the other flavors, but I'm like, at least I know based on the history that if I get wimpy, I'm going to have a good experience.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is try something and then it's shitty.
You're just like, oh.
And then you either have to throw it away and waste it, or you're just not full. So I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I mean, I love me some Zaxby's.
Yeah.
God.
I do too, but they sell the Zax sauce and the spicy Zax sauce in stores now. And
really?
I like portion that out with the Costco chicken nuggets. And I feel like I can't go and pay $10 for a meal at Zaxby's anymore because I'm paying like $3.20. I mean, the thing I'm missing is the fries and the Texas toast, obviously, because I'm just eating the chicken from Costco. But I feel like I can't justify going to Zaxby's really anymore and paying $10, $12 for a meal when I could have the sauce, which is what makes it kind of like Cane's. Zaxby's way better than Cane's. Hot take, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. Cane's chicken, it's just not seasoned. Their Texas toast, it's good, but the fries are just terrible. They're not seasoned at all. You can barely even taste any salt, and they're always cold. I've had Cane's maybe a couple times, but I'm just like, I can't pay money for this.
I support that take. I also think Cane's is a little overrated. I've always been a Zaxby's champion. And similarly, my wife and I do the same thing. We buy the Costco chicken and we use Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
And we have like what we call like Chick-fil-A dupe night where we get waffle fries, throw them in the air fryer, do the chicken in the air fryer, and it tastes just like Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Yeah.
And you buy the Chick-fil-A sauce and it's like you're eating Chick-fil-A at home. And rather than two people eating at Chick-fil-A, which could be 25 bucks, 30 bucks maybe, depending if you get large or not, having it at home is the same experience and it's cheaper.
Once they started selling the sauce, I mean, you're giving away your secret stuff. I mean, I still love a spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich. Absolutely. I actually just started working at Chick-fil-A again. I worked there in 2020 in high school, but my internship right now I only get like 15 hours a week, so I needed more money. So I'm a delivery driver for the one on Chastain, which is right by my house. And the last week, all 3 days, it's 10 an hour plus tips, but I made like $18.30 an hour after tips, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be more like 15, but I mean, it seemed kind of high because we got to see like our tips at the end of the day, and I kind of took like a glance at everybody else's, and mine was I think Monday I was the highest, even though I worked less hours than some of the people. But it's just luck of the draw because you just get randomly assigned a delivery and they have their tip on before when they pay. So I'm sure I'll get bad days too where I don't make as much, but it'll all even out at the end. I mean, 2-week paychecks, you got 7 days that I'm working. So it'll just kind of even out probably at like 16 or something. But either way, not bad. And it doesn't even feel like work because I just drive around and I listen to a podcast. And then I just run in because each time you go out, it takes like 30 minutes because if you go like 15 minutes out of your way, it's one delivery. But if you're close by, you got 2 deliveries. So in a 6-hour shift, that's what I typically work. I'm doing 12 deliveries. And when you look at it like that, it doesn't, it's not bad. Listen to music, listen to podcasts, and it goes by really fast. And then you get free Chick-fil-A meal at the end of the shift.
Really?
Yeah, free Chick-fil-A. And then the other location didn't do this that I worked at 5 years ago. But when I go in, like on my off days, it's 75% off, which is, it's pretty nice. This operator is really cool. So I'm probably going to stick with this job through the rest of senior year as well. Work like 2 days a week during the school year, just like Monday, Wednesday mornings, at least in the fall, looking at my schedule. But just stuff like that.
So tell me about these. I mentioned them in the intro and you've piqued my interest. Tell me about these jerseys and scarves and these, I guess, these collecting that you're doing. Jumping on that ice.
Yeah. So I started, Eleni and I started in 2017, and after we won MLS Cup in 2018, so we won the championship in our second year, I wanted a 2018 championship scarf, and I got it after the parade because I went down for the parade. That was super fun.
Sure.
Finally, some good things in Atlanta sports.
Facts.
Yeah. So got to experience that, and I got my scarf, and then like 2 months later, I was at the game during St. Patrick's Day, and they had the St. Patrick's Day scarf, and I got it. And I had these scarves, and I was like, this is about the size of this wall right here in my room. And I think I'll give you all the photos. I even have photos from like my parents' house of like the original scarf wall and how it started. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I could display it like these just on the wall with like some clear thumbtacks and do it like that. And I just kept buying more and more and more. And the scarves come out like maybe once a month. And they're relatively cheap. They're like $25 a pop. Now they're like $35 to keep increasing it. It's getting annoying. But and then I wanted jerseys too. So I now have every single home, away, and third jersey that Atlanta United has ever worn. And then like a couple of their special jerseys that are like Earth Day ones that are made out of like recyclable materials. And then a couple of like pre-match tops that they wear. It's just cool decoration, I think. And I kept collecting that all through high school, and it stayed in my parents' house until we bought the house that I live in now in Kennesaw. And I'm in the master bedroom, and it has 12-foot like vaulted ceilings. So it's a huge wall now. So I have the side wall that's next to my bed, and you can put the picture up when I do. Yeah. So the side wall that's next to my bed, and then I have the wall where my bed is on. It's between two windows. There's two flags covering each of the windows. And then I also like bought this custom flag that has Miguel Almiron and Joseph Martinez doing their Dragon Ball Z celebration. And those were two iconic players from 2017 and 2018. Miguel Almiron's actually back now. He left to go to Newcastle in England, and now he's back for this year. But yeah, so that's that wall. And then I have the wall that's across from my bed, and it has my door. I actually painted my door with 5 stripes because that's like the nickname of Atlanta United, the 5 stripes. So I got the red and black stripes painted on my door. I painted the trim gold because that's our third color. And then I have the jerseys on that wall, and then I have a couple of scarves, and then I have the newspapers from the AJC, from the championship, from the parade. So I have those like cover things, and those are really cool memorabilia. And then once I ran out of space on those walls, I started on the ceiling. So on the big wall with the banner, I have a complete row of scarves. And then I have 2 flags on the center because it's also really big. Like, it's big enough to where you could fit 2 scarves like fully out on the ceiling, but then there's a space to where it's not big enough for a scarf. So I put a flag like in the middle, so it kind of like hides the edges of the 2 scarves. It makes it really seamless. So I have that on both sides, and then at the wall where the jerseys are, I have another row of scarves. So kind of like up on this side, I have like space for maybe 12 more jerseys. And then on the 4th wall that connects to my bathroom, I have all my Falcons stuff. I have a couple of Falcons jerseys from when I was younger, Matt Ryan and Tony Gonzalez, and then just like a Falcons blanket that I have. And then I have my desk, and above the desk, I have 3 shelves of all the Legos. I also collect Legos. The Lego architecture sets. I don't know if you've seen those. So I have with Lego, bro. I have like the White House, and I have the Pyramid of Giza. Fire. I have the Tranquil Gardens, Statue of Liberty. I have a ton of them. It's probably like maybe $800-900 worth of Legos, and all of the scarves and jerseys together. I calculated a rough estimate. It's maybe like $6,000 worth of stuff. But now this is over 9 years of collecting. So yeah, sure. It's maybe like probably spend about $700 a year on Atlanta United stuff. And that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, it's for something that I do and I really enjoy. I think it's a decent amount. But yeah, I mean, I don't shop for a ton of clothes and stuff. So it's, yeah. All my clothes come from Costco mostly. Costco is great for so many things. Back to Costco. I love Costco. Dude, they are. Yeah. Costco. We should reach out to you and get a Costco sponsorship. Yeah. But, hey, if Costco wanted to sponsor, listen, you don't even have to like pay me anything. Just pay for the membership every year. Yeah. Like $65. 65. Just pay me $65 a year. Yeah, it's fair. But Costco doesn't need the promotion. Yeah, they don't ever run ads. So no, they don't. But it's so funny about companies that don't run ads because it's like Trader Joe's. They know they don't have to. But it's so odd because you would think that they're like wanting more members, but it's almost like they're just cool with the amount of members. What does their marketing team do? I don't know. They got enough. I mean, they know people will come. They don't have to do any marketing. They kind of have a cult following, you could say, kind of like Trader Joe's does. I know a lot of people are obsessed with Trader Joe's. I wish there was one close to Kennesaw. I don't know if I've ever been to a Trader Joe's. Really? Well, there's not really one near here. The closest one to here is maybe like 20 minutes away. But there's one near my parents' house in Peachtree Corners, and they got some pretty good stuff, good snacks, a lot of good like frozen meals.
Yeah. New sponsor alert, everybody. I want to tell you about my new friends over at Value Sesh. Bang for buck doesn't always have to mean cheap quality. For Value Sesh, it means that they're dedicated to offering the best tasting Delta 9 sweets with solid potency at a totally decent price. They are a family company that loves to share good vibes, and their candy always does the trick without breaking the bank. Try their 50-count bags of taffies, pure Wisconsin honey sticks, and a full menu of signature gummies. They're federally legal, ship right to your door. What don't you like about this operation? Their gummies are great. Their taffies are great. All of their products are good. I tried them myself this last weekend, and I am a new customer. So should you. Try out Value Sesh. Go to valuesesh.com to get yours. That's VALUSESH.com so that you can try out their products yourself. You will not regret it. Value Sesh. Sesh for less.
I would say a lot of their stuff is pretty good and pretty decently healthy.
We're big Aldi people.
Yeah, the only places I shop now, Aldi and Costco. That's it.
Us too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Aldi's fantastic. New Realm, actually, half of their like revenue comes from a beer that they brew for Aldi.
Really?
Yeah, it's my boss just told me what it was called the other day, and now I forgot. Yeah, so it doesn't have the New Realm logo on it, but it's brewed by New Realm, and they send it out to all the Aldis like in Georgia.
Wow, that's really cool.
And a lot of their revenue comes from that. That's how they've
really funny.
Been able to be pretty successful. So yeah.
Wow, what a cool relationship. So speaking of New Realm, I mean, so Chaz connected us. Shouts to Chaz. Was just texting him this morning about us doing this episode, and he was excited because, you know, Chaz is the ultimate people connector. He loves putting people together, which I have learned because I assume you have a similar relationship to Chaz that I do. I kind of view him as like a mentor in some ways, kind of somebody I try to model myself after a little bit here, like, you know, with different things that he does and how he views certain things. Like I just find him a really cool dude like that. So how long have you known him? I mean, how did you guys meet? I mean, all that.
Met through kind of the Banana Boys. I will get to explaining that. But he was at a basketball game for Kennesaw State. That's his alma mater. He went there, I think graduated in 99, maybe early 2000.
Was that before you were born?
I was born in 2003. Am I the youngest person you've had?
No.
Okay.
I had a 17-year-old kid in here one time. I want to get there's this kind of locally famous 10-year-old that I kind of want to get in here, but I know that's weird. Kind of weird. He's got he's got this salsa company. It's called Sully's Salsa or something. Oh. He's 10. It's crazy.
And he made the salsa?
I mean, probably not. Probably him and his, I think the story is him and his mom made salsa together.
Okay.
Growing up. Colin's I call bullshit on this Sully salsa shit.
All right. I mean, let me try it first.
Apparently it's good. I almost worked with them and doing some marketing stuff, but they decided not to do any actually. Okay. But yeah, I mean, no, not the youngest, but close. What do you 24, 23, 22,
21.
I don't do math.
I was born in 2003, so.
Oh shit, yeah. I guess. Yeah. Well, fuck you, Colin. I don't do math. I don't do math, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so
basketball game.
Met at the basketball game.
So this was December of, when was this? So I turned 21 last year. So yeah, December of 2023, he took a photo of the Banana Boys and he posted it on his Instagram story and tagged the Banana Boys. And I was like, so I looked at the angle of the photo and I realized who had taken the photo of us. And I went and found him and I went over to talk to him about the bananas. And we just got to talking. In every basketball game, I would go over and see him and say hi and just say what's up. And I got to know him, what he did, where he worked. And I was like, at the time I was still working for Schnabel, and I was like, I wanted to kind of get into marketing. At the time, my major was still finance. I just switched this past semester to marketing just because I think it's geared towards more of what I want to do. I took some finance classes and I was like, this just isn't for me. I don't think I could do this for the rest of my life. So I switched to marketing. If I want, I could maybe go back and get a master's in finance or something, just get some more schooling at some point if a company wants to pay to do that.
There you go.
But got
Why
to talk.
You just felt like it was stuff that you like to do, that you want to do.
This past fall semester, I was taking marketing and finance, like the introductory classes, and it just piqued my interest more. I want to work in sports. That's my main goal, is just sports. Any facet of that, I think, would be good for me. I would say I have good people skills with people other than my peers, like people around my same age. I can talk to older people and to, like, I guess younger people, like my younger cousins or whatever, but like people around my age, I'm maybe a little more antisocial, like at a bar or something. And like I go to Clemson sometimes because my friend, well, he just graduated, but shout out Ian. You better listen to this.
Shouts to Ian.
Yeah. That's the friend I'm going to the pool with today.
I bet.
But yeah, I would go to the bar there and we just kind of hang out. I mean, me and him, we just go play pool. That's what I like to do. Instead of just standing in a crowded bar, at least have something to do.
Sure. I agree with that.
Play pool, drink $2 PBRs. That was nice. $2 16-ounce PBRs at Clemson. TDs, that was the bar that we would go to the most of the time. What was I talking about?
That's a great question.
Being social. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So marketing is, I think I can excel in it. Just if I know what I'm talking about, I can talk about it for a while, so I can really sell stuff. So last night I worked for New Realm at the aquarium. They had this event called 20,000 Beers Under the Sea. Now, it was like free beer, so people were obviously coming up, but I was still able to talk about the different types of beer and the tasting notes and such, and kind of sell them on different aspects of that, or just try and get them to actually come to the location, tell them about New Realm. So if I have that information preloaded, I can kind of talk someone's ear off, and kind of, so sales marketing is kind of what I want to go into, something around that. But
yeah, I mean, I'd say your people skills are good. I mean, we've never met and we're already talking like we know each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty obvious right away when someone has decent personal skills, because no offense, but a lot of younger people nowadays, they don't have those skills.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
It's evident. And when you meet somebody that, I mean, as soon as you meet them, you shake your hand, eye contact, all that. It's like, okay, this guy knows how to talk to people.
Yeah.
Which, like, you never know what you're going to get nowadays. Because, like, some people are like yourself, that they're really social, really good to talk to people. But then some people are just like, I like marketing and sports, and I collect jerseys and stuff. But I'd say you're pretty solid.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's good.
Not like you needed my validation, but I gave it to you anyway.
Yeah, well, that's good. But so I was talking to Chaz about this, and I was like, do you have maybe an internship opportunity? He was like, how old are you? I was like, oh, I was 20 at the time. He's like, you got to be 21. So maybe the next summer. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah. So I turned 21 last September, and I started in January of this past year, so 6 months ago, and I was doing the social media for Owlin. I was just kind of getting a feel on it. Last semester, I also took social media marketing, and the professor, he was really cool. His name's John Downey, and he worked at Facebook for a really long time, I think 9 years, from 2010 to 2019. He's dope. Also worked at a couple of different like beverage companies like Red Bull, I think Beatbox. No, wait, that's Chaz. Smartwater. He worked at Smartwater.
Very cool.
So just stuff like that. And I actually signed up for his advertising class in the fall. So I'm excited to do that because I also need that class. So this is my first repeat professor that I'm going to have in college, which, yeah.
It's fun. I had a couple of those.
Yeah.
It's really cool when you develop like a relationship with them too. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, I remember you from such and such class. Because I similarly had a professor that I had her maybe 3 or 4 times because I liked her. And I was like, oh, I need this class. she teaches that class.
Yeah.
I'll do her class if I can. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. But
then it also, sorry to cut you off, but it helps also, like, you know, how he tests, you know, how he grades. So it just kind of works in your favor too, to be consistent with your professors.
It's true. But yeah, no, he was really cool. He was really helpful and kind of like, and we kind of did build that relationship early on, because I told him after like the first day of class, because he said he was in charge of like the marketing for like the Cheez-It or the Pop-Tarts Bowl in December, which I thought was really cool. So I went up and talked to him about that. I talked about the Banana Boys and how I was starting this social media job, because that was the class, social media marketing. And he was like, oh, cool, we'll have to talk about that and just kind of see how your metrics are. And he definitely helped with getting a good knowledge of all the different platforms. Right now we're just on Instagram, and Owlin's kind of the only New Realm beer that has a separate page, because we have the New Realm page. I think it has like 34K followers. Obviously not going to be running that as an intern, but this one, I mean, I've got the following up a decent amount, I think from 180 to like 330. So not a ton, but I do over like the summer, I've transitioned one into like more events and like actually going to different accounts and telling them about new products like the Higher Realm. I've been told to push that more and just get that out to like the different gas stations and restaurants that buy from New Realm. But I'm also kind of putting the social media on pause and building out a content calendar for the new school year, because I'm pushing to these college age kids mostly, because a lot of the beer sales of Owlin are at the football games and the basketball games and the baseball games, because those are our three most popular or most attended sports. And it's not really worth it right now when no one's around and there's no sports going on to market during the summer. So I'm kind of just building a better plan and getting to where I could post 3 or 4 times a week instead of once a week. I was kind of posting once a week to kind of test it out and test some ideas out. And during the first like 2 weeks of school, I'm going to go out like on the campus green or whatever and do giveaways for like the Owlin merch to kind of get some followers. And I got to test this at the senior cookout I worked. And I had some Hazy Like a Fox shirts that people were really interested in. So I did a giveaway. Basically, if you followed the Owlin account, then your name was entered into a giveaway. And I think I got like 60 followers from that. And that was in a 3-hour span in like a gym. That was basically, it wasn't open to the public. So if I get all the if I go out on the green during those first 2 weeks when everybody's going to class before they start skipping and get a lot of foot traffic in, I think I could get a good amount of followers before I start implementing the content calendar that I have prepared, set around the football schedule and all the other athletics that start early in August.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Very interesting. So you're still working with them?
Yes.
With New Realm?
Yeah.
That's
so
dope.
Right now, once school ended, which was like April 30th, I think, May 2nd was my last final. It ended pretty early this year. I feel like I've been on break for a while.
You've been on break for a month and a half at this point. That's crazy.
So it ended pretty early this year. So we got a good like 3.5 months of summer, because I think we go back August 18th.
Fire.
I think it's just how the calendar ended up. Lost my train of thought.
That's all right. So we've been teasing the people long enough.
Yes.
Tell me, because I don't even really know, because I tell all my guests this, Colin, but I don't really do a ton of background research on the guests, because as I'm talking to them, I want to learn about you authentically, like through our conversation, and like I want to have the same experience as somebody maybe in my network that's listening that doesn't know you.
Yeah.
I want to be there with them, learning about you with them.
Okay.
So I don't do a ton of research, because I don't want to ask a bunch of questions I already know the answer to and being like, oh, tell me more about that. And it's just not, it's just not authentic.
Yeah.
It's not like actually a conversation. It
That
feels
makes sense.
Rehearsed. So I don't really even know. I mean, I've gone to a couple KSU games. I also went to KSU. Who?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I'll have to send you a link, but I actually did an episode with the woman who invented the Hootie Who
Yeah, I think
thing.
I was looking through your podcast the other day, and I think I saw that.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Hootie hoo.
What is it again? This?
The Owl Eyes, yeah.
No, Owl Eyes. Boom. Hootie hoo. Yeah, KSU, if you want to sponsor this episode, that'd be pretty sick. All episodes, really. So let's talk KSU. But I gave you my money, so it's time to give it back. Well, really my parents' money, so maybe I'll pay it forward. But either way, I've been to a couple games. I've seen you guys out there.
Yeah.
And I've worked a couple New Realm tents as well at a few games, especially when the Owl Inn partnership kind of really first launched.
Yep.
And it was last season, I think, that Chaz had me coming out there. And
September 7th, I think, was the first time that Owl Inn came out.
That sounds about right. And I worked the tent and, helped them sell Owl Inn and Hazy and other things. Good Days was also there because I'm surprised you've never had Good Days.
I saw them at the event. I just never bought it.
Yeah. I have a relationship similar that I have with Chaz, with Jason, the co-founder that lives in Marietta, because they sponsor Your Morning Drive, but also I'm just a cool kind of mentor-ish kind of figure. Regardless, back to Banana Boys, I saw you guys roll up at that event. Like there was like 6 of you that like came through, and Chaz was like, "Oh, I got to go talk to these guys." And I just watched from afar, and I was like, "What the fuck are these guys doing?" And I knew nothing about you at that point. Like I saw you come through, and I was like, those guys are in banana costumes, like the Savannah Bananas kind of, but like it's KSU.
Yeah, we get that comparison all the time. They ask, "Are you the Savannah Bananas?" We're like, "No, similar."
We're in Kennesaw.
Really.
This is not Savannah. I'd love to go to one of those games. Have you been?
I have not. Both my parents grew up in Savannah, and I go there like 3 times a year. Should have gotten in early before they got so popular.
Right? They're like on the top of the world right now.
Yeah. They just sold out Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. I was in Clemson when they played in Clemson. The bar after that was ridiculous.
I need to connect with their owner.
People. Yeah.
I'm like friends with him on LinkedIn, but I don't know if he like actually like knows that I'm friends with, because he's got so many. Like Jesse, I think is his name or something.
Jesse Owens.
Yeah, that's it.
Owens, maybe. Isn't that the track person? Jesse Owens.
But either way,
I might be making
tell me all about the Savannah or the KSU Banana Boys. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Tell me all about you guys. What do you do?
I'll start with how it started. Matthew Bailey, shout out Matthew. Listen to this, please. He grew up in Madison, Georgia, and he went to Morgan County High School. And he would go to football games in a banana suit, like a high school game. It's just something silly that he would do. But
not even really affiliated with like any branding of the school.
No,
just straight up would just show up in a banana outfit. Empty chest, just straight banana suit. Okay.
But he would also do like prom week, you have different themes for each of the days. So if it was Hawaiian Day, he'd do Hawaiian banana. If it was 80s Day, he'd do 80s banana. So it was just his own little spin on it.
Sure. It was his shtick. He was Banana Guy.
Exactly. So when I first got to KSU in fall of 2022, so the first football game when we played, God, who did we play? I can't even remember right now. It was a Friday night, I'm pretty sure. So it was a Friday night game. We get there, and I go to the front row of the student section. Everybody else is sitting down because KSU sports, it doesn't have a ton of like support like a bigger school does. I mean, that's kind of like an obvious thing. Like you're not going to get as much support as like a Georgia or an LSU. But most of the people that go kind of seem disinterested, or they like leave at halftime. A lot of the students as well. There's not a ton of student support. One, because I think because the stadium isn't on campus, it's kind of harder to get to. And two, we're a commuter school somewhat. I know they're trying to build more student housing, and that's always a big problem. Sure. And we do have a lot of apartments around campus. A lot of people do live near the school, but most of our population is commuter or online. So you got a big problem with students showing up. And then 3, the income of the families of people that go to KSU is probably lower. So a lot of these students are working on the weekends to pay for school.
Sure.
So that's also it's a big issue. And I think one, moving to Conference USA and having those October games on weeknights does help our attendance, because if it's a Wednesday night game, students are actually able to go after class.
Sure.
And they're excited for that.
Yeah, they're already there.
So they're already
might
there
as well.
Yeah, so instead of driving like an hour back home to where they are, they're like, oh, we could stay for the football game, at least for some of it.
Sure.
But back to fall of 2022, August, I think late August, maybe early September, I go and there's one row of like students standing up, and I'm standing up there, and Matthew's there, and he has the banana suit on, and he has like a really shitty like KS logo that he made with felt, and it's just like straight, like just black, like no accent of the yellow or the white or the gray.
Just very like clearly homemade.
Yeah, he clearly made it. And he had the morph suit on with the morph suit like covering his face, because that was the original look of the bananas, that there was no face. So it was like a morph suit just like completely covering.
Wow.
And I still wear a morph suit with mine, just because it's cool. Like it blacks out your arms. I cut the hands off because they're just, one, they tore, and two, it's annoying to use your phone.
Yeah,
so I cut the hands off, but I still keep it on my legs. So like the legs are completely blacked out, and we adjusted it to wear the sunglasses, because that's it kind of adds the mystique to it that the covering of the face did, without being hot and sweaty the whole time. It does sometimes get hot and sweaty, but it's normally not that bad. Either way, back to fall. Sorry, I keep rambling off of the story. I'm at the football game, and I'm up and cheering with Matthew, and there's like, again, just one row of students just at the front, and we're the only ones standing up, screaming, actually active in the game in the student section. So I asked Matthew, I was like, oh, what's your name? So I talked to him for a little bit, but I played rugby my first semester when I went to Kennesaw, so I didn't really get to go to any other home games that year. We're also pretty bad. I think we went like 5-6 that year. So it wasn't, the only other game that I went to was Parents Weekend, and I sat on like the other side of the stadium because I wasn't in the student section, because I was with my parents, of course. So yeah, I didn't really get to go to any other games. And then when rugby ended, then the winter started and basketball season started. And one of his fraternity brothers, he was also in the music frat, Cole, he joined, and he put on a banana costume, and his mom made him like a really cool like owl head logo, and she's actually the one that still makes the logos for us today. We pay her for it, of course.
Sure.
One, for the materials, and two, for her hard work.
Sure.
We love you, Mrs. Yeah, so I was at the basketball games too, and it's just one row of students, or not even a whole row. It's just a couple of students, and I was one of them up and standing and cheering. And this is like starting to go into January. So once the second semester started, I asked Cole one day, I was like, hey, could I get a costume and join y'all? He's like, hell yeah. So that's where mine started. I bought a costume, and I bought like a little iron-on patch logo, and it was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So it was pretty small, but it was still there. And I mean, you could still see it from decently far away. But that's just how I joined. And it was us three, plus I think two of their other frat brothers kind of rotated in sometimes, just wearing like a blank banana costume. But they never really continued on with it. So the original three kind of was Matthew, of course, first. He's the OG. Cole's number 2, and then I'm Banana Boy number 3. And we were the 3 original. So that basketball season, I don't know when did you graduate?
I graduated from KSU in 2019. Okay.
Gotcha.
Just a few years before you
remember, so your first year then is when Amir came, right? Or was that his second year? Did you go to any basketball games?
A couple. Not enough. Not again. Not
no.
Well
it was his first year.
Not well enough to know people's names.
So Amir Abdur-Rahim, he was the coach. He actually just passed away this past October.
I saw that.
That was
devastating.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I was really sad about that. I went to his funeral, but I was glad that Kennesaw hosted.
Sorry for your loss.
Funeral for him, but yeah, no, It was a really nice funeral, though. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. So I was pretty upset about that, but he's a great coach. So when he came in that first year, I guess when you graduated, so 2018 to 2019 was his first season. and they went, I think, 1-27. It's pretty terrible. I think they only had like, for some of the games, they only had like 8 players on the roster.
Yikes.
I think I heard a story that he sent a text to the team about team lift, like, oh, be here at 6 or whatever. And one of the players responded, is this optional? Or whatever, like a practice. And that just showed you, like, the coach before him, this was like after I think he got fired or he retired. Either way, that was kind of like his last thing. And actually, fun fact, the house that I live in that we bought was the house that he lived in, the old coach. So really? The one before Amir.
Oh, that's funny.
So the couple that we bought it from, they lived there for like 4 years, and they told us that. They were like, oh, the coach before Coach Amir lived in this house. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of a little fun fact, but
yeah, that's a fun little tie-in. Yeah. That you didn't expect.
But either way, so they went 1-27, not very good, of course. Then they went like, I don't know, they maybe had like 6 wins the year after. Then they had maybe 15 wins the year after this. And then now you get to the year that I started my first basketball year. We went to March Madness, and it was crazy.
I remember that.
The turnaround was insane. We had CY, Chris Youngblood. We had Terrell Burden. We had Damon Robinson, Kaysen Jennings, Brandon Stroud, he was the ASUN Defensive Player of the Year that year. Just an absolute incredible team that we had. CY, actually, I'll get to that later. But we also had the tournament in Kennesaw because ASUN did their tournament at the home sites of the top seeded team. So we finished number 1 that year. Well, we tied for first with Liberty, but since we beat them in our only matchup, then we got to go. And that year that we played Liberty, that was a huge game as well. And I remember I was going skiing that weekend, so I wasn't going to be able to be there. And that was like a month after I first started bananing, and I really loved it. And I was really disappointed that I wasn't going to be able to be there for that big matchup. And when I turned on the TV, the Bananas were always kind of in the front row. And when I turned on the TV to watch it, they were in like the 3rd row. And I asked Matthew, he was like, oh yeah, we just got here late. And there were some students already standing up in the front, so we couldn't get up front. And I was like, that's not happening again. So the Bananas always get there when the gates open. We're always first in line. We're the first people in there. And during the tournament run, I got there like 2 or 3 hours early. And for the ASUN championship game, I got there like, I think 3.5 hours early. And I thought that was going to be enough time because there was nobody those first couple of days. And I got there and I was maybe like 10th in line or whatever. And there was these girls that were there for from 9:30 a.m. But they were saying, oh, we just want to be on TV. And I was like, kind of lame. You don't actually care. I was like, name 5 players. But no, I was like, well, that's kind of a shitty reason to be in the front. And I actually pulled one of the marketing guys aside. And I was like, any way you could get us to the front of the line? He was like, yeah, I mean, y'all kind of bring more energy and you've been here all season. So he let us go in first in front of them. And they were pretty pissed, but honestly, I don't care. I had never seen them at a game before that, so yeah, sucks to suck. You kind of get perks as a banana.
I hope you hear this.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, sucks to suck. You kind of get perks as a banana. I mean, obviously supporting the athletics, they want to support you back. All the coaches love us pretty much, and all the athletic staff, they really just love what we do. Because we don't just go to football and basketball and baseball, like the major sports. We go to every single D1 sport that Kennesaw State has to offer. So we go to tennis. Tennis is actually one of my favorites. Basketball and tennis are my 2 favorites. We go to volleyball. We go to track and field. We go to women's lacrosse, women's soccer. We even travel for those games too. I've been to Clemson for women's volleyball. We went to Jacksonville State for women's soccer, Georgia State for women's soccer. I think Philip went to Mercer for women's lacrosse. We really like to travel and support all the athletes because, of course, you have the big games and you have all the students show up for football. People are going to show up for football no matter what.
No matter who's playing,
and for
people
basketball,
show up for football.
And students are going to show up, but students don't show up for these smaller sports, and those
Sure.
athletes work just as hard as every other athlete on football, every other athlete on basketball. Of course, they work hard, but they get all the recognition because they have the TV deals
Sure.
and the NIL money, of course, with that coming in.
And just like a general, like football is inevitably, of course, no offense to volleyball players, but football is inevitably going to bring more eyes than volleyball or lacrosse or swimming. I mean, football, baseball, basketball, those are the big three, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's natural.
Yeah,
it sucks, but it's natural.
Of course, yeah. So, well, our volleyball actually gets a decent amount of fans. It is pretty decent, but not a lot of students. The student section is always empty. It's normally just us up there. So that's where we want to bring that student support, because, of course, you're going to have your parents show up.
Sure.
But, like, for tennis, every single player now on the tennis team is an international player, so their parents aren't here. They're not going to be able to come to their games, so they normally only have like maybe 2 or 3 people show up. You have the marketing interns there and like maybe some of their trainers that come out and support them, or it's mostly just the people that already work in athletics coming to watch the thing. So they never had a lot of like student support. And I really love tennis. Coach Matt Emery, he's done a fantastic job, as well as Simon Pritchard, another shout out, Randall Knox as well. Those are the 3 coaches, and I think Taylor, she was a grad assistant. She just graduated with her doctorate, with her master's. And I think she might be a full-time coach soon, hopefully for the women's team. So it's Matt and Taylor for the women's teams, and then Simon and Randall running the men's team. And they've all done a great job. KSU women's tennis was like a bottom 5 program in D1 before Coach Matt came on, and now they're competing pretty well in CUSA. We were the 4 seed this past tournament. So he's done a terrific job turning that program around. And just the recruiting, Randall, he goes to Europe and he recruits pretty well. Most of our players are from Europe. I'm pretty sure all but one from Argentina and then one's from South Africa, but all the others are European. Oh, wait, no, Australia too, sorry. But yeah, just a ton of international players, but they don't have a lot of support because even their parents can't come. So it's just good to know that we're able to go out and support them, and they've reciprocated that. I've gone to the ASUN and CUSA or CUSA championships with the teams. Like they paid for like my flight and hotel and stuff, and they pay for my food when I go. It's really nice. So they've definitely reciprocated that support. And like
that's really cool, man.
In the fall when they have like singles tournaments, they start at like 9 a.m. and I've driven like on no sleep throughout the night. Like we played Jacksonville State on like a Friday. So I went to that game. I didn't sleep because I drove to Birmingham at like 3 a.m. to go to the men's tennis singles tournament at the Birmingham Country Club, and got no sleep, and then driven back the same day. Do a lot of crazy travel. I can get more into that later. But that's kind of what the Banana Boys is at its essence, is just supporting KSU athletics from a student standpoint, kind of student section leader. So we do try and get other students to kind of stand up and actually cheer and support, than just like sit there and watch and just kind of be monotone about it. But it's a little easier at the bigger sports, but at the smaller sports, at least we're there.
Sure. So. Well, that's really cool, man, that you guys are out there, and if nothing else, you're just champions of not just the big athletics, but really just all KSU athletics. Like you're there to support. And I mean, like little things like, I mean, it's a big deal for you because you're the one that's doing the traveling, but like the team is probably talking to themselves and be like, this guy is like bending over backwards to be here and support us at these games. This is so cool. Yeah. And so I think that's actually really freaking cool, man. I mean, like, again, like a lot of these players are from overseas and they don't have as many friends here, and their family's not here. So they're not really getting cheered on every day like some of the American and local to Georgia athletes. So the fact that you guys, if nobody else, are out there showing support for these athletes that worked their ass off to get to where they are. They're playing college athletics, which is a huge deal. Regardless if you're at a UGA or a KSU or an Auburn or whoever, you're still playing college sports, which is a huge achievement. It's just really cool that you guys are championing everybody and that they all are starting to notice too. Like you guys aren't just, 5 dudes that are showing up in banana costumes. I mean, you are that, but like the coaches love you guys, the players are appreciative of you, like more people have caught on to what you guys are doing rather than just it being like a fun, like, oh, we'll probably see the Banana Boys at the game tonight. Like rather it just being more than just a little inside joke kind of thing. It's more than that. Like was that the goal from doing it? Or were you guys just, when you guys had that original three, you and Matthew and Cole, right? When you guys first started it, were you like, we're going to try to build something, like this is going to be an organization of its own? Or like, were you just got like, we're just three college dudes going to support our teams. And if it catches on to something bigger, great. If not, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, I can get more into that. So like, so we beat Liberty in the championship, and we got to go to March Madness. We got drawn in Greensboro, so it was drivable. That was a really fun trip. Matthew and Cole went up together, and they stayed like in a hotel in Greensboro, and I went up with my friend Andrew. Well, I call him Coach, but Andrew, and we went up together and stayed with my aunt in the town of Wake Forest, which was like 2 hours away from Greensboro, but it was better than paying however much for a hotel. So we get there, and I arrived separate from them, so I got there first. I was like the first person in the building in Greensboro. And actually, after the championship, I met Milton outside of the Kennesaw, the Convocation Center. And he was like, I really love what you guys are doing, being supportive. I've noticed you guys all year at the football game with Matthew and at the basketball games this season. Could we get you guys some tickets to March Madness? Or he asked if we were going to go. And I was like, I sure plan on it. And he was like, could I get y'all some tickets? I was like, absolutely. And he got us tickets to the game. They were like $150 each, which was very nice of him. Really appreciate that. Milton Overton, he's a great athletic director. He's always been supportive of us, which is great to have kind of support from the highest level of KSU athletics from him. And we get to Greensboro, and I'm like the first person out because I want to take pictures of like the empty arena with the March Madness logo. Obviously, it's an experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some guy comes up and he's like, hey, I'm from the AJC. Can I interview you? And I was like, yeah. So I actually got to interview with somebody, or we were in the AJC that week. I still have pictures. I can send you screenshots of that so you can put that in the video. So that was a really fun experience being interviewed as well. And then Matthew and Cole, they went to like the alumni tailgate before, so they came in a little bit later. But they got pictures of us at the game. I don't know if you remember the game. We had a 13-point lead in the second half, didn't score. Yeah, that was just another terrible Atlanta-based team blowing another lead.
Seems to be a pattern.
Yeah, I'm just used to it at this point. But I cried for like 2 hours on the way back. That was so sad.
Yeah,
it was just terrible. I just felt so bad for, all the players, of course. Spencer Rogers, he was a senior. Alex Peterson, he was also a senior, and I still see them sometimes at KSU games. They come back and watch sometimes, so get to say hi to them. But yeah, overall, it was a fun experience, but just, of course, disappointing ending because I think the 11 seed won on the other side, so we would have played them, and it was Pitt. And if we could have beaten Xavier, we could have totally beaten Pitt. They were an 11 seed.
Hey guys, let's talk about another partner of the podcast, Branded and Devoted Designs. Are you looking to level up your company's merch game? Your brand deserves better than boring swag. If you contact Branded and Devoted Designs, you can level up with custom hats, shirts, tumblers, mugs, and more that your customers and clients will brag about. Go to www.brandedanddevoteddesigns.com to make your brand stick out. Mention that Logan from Your Morning Drive sent you, and they will give you 10% off of your order. That's brandedanddevoteddesigns.com. Tell them Logan sent you from Your Morning Drive for 10% off your order.
So it was just disappointing knowing that we had a real chance of going to the Sweet 16 and playing Texas in Missouri and maybe going to that, but it just didn't go our way. Ref also called a really bullshit foul at the end on Chris Youngblood. That was disgusting because he didn't even touch him. By the way, not going to go into that. I rewatch that game like once a month just to put more fuel to the fire of me wanting to chant louder and louder for Kennesaw.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the game though, Hunter McKay, he's one of the sporting intern directors for Kennesaw. He told us, he was like, hey, Coach Matt from the tennis team wants you guys to come out next week for the tennis match. And at this point, we hadn't gone to any other sport besides Matthew did football, and then we just went to basketball. But baseball was starting, softball was starting, tennis had already started. And we were like, yeah, of course. Why not? So, because basketball, that was the end of our season right there. And we was like, yeah, of course we'll come out. So that's when we started doing tennis. And we're like, oh, we'll go to baseball and softball and lacrosse and do the other spring sports. So we started doing that. And then like in the summer, we were like, okay, if we want to maybe continue this and build a legacy onto this. And also after March Madness, we started the Instagram account that has like, I think 1,600 followers now, which is pretty decent enough. Not super famous, but it's a good community. Yeah, it's a decently good following. We started that and we kind of started just posting about KSU sports as well, posting pictures of ourselves at the games to kind of, like, hey, we're here and just stuff like that. But we're like, all right, if we want to continue this and kind of build it into something better, got to recruit. So we started recruiting over the summer. We started posting. We showed up to an a freshman orientation, got some followers from that. And our first couple recruits at that first football game in 2023 was Joel DeLima. He's really cool. Cassie, she was our first girl banana. So they were both at the first football game. Those were like our two new bananas. And then Andrew Watson, he was at that game, but he was there with his brother, so he wasn't doing like his first banana thing yet. So Joel and Cassie were there at the game, and then Andrew, I think, came to the next game for his first game as a banana. But yeah, so we just started trying to recruit more and kind of building it over that semester. Then we got a few more people. We got Philip that came in. We had a couple people kind of test it out and then realize it's not their thing. But yeah, we just kept it going, kept trying to build it. This past year, we added Nathan, we added Alex, we added, Donna did it for a semester because then she had to graduate, unfortunately. So she only got to be a banana for a semester, but she was our second girl banana. And Cassie actually just retired as a banana this past year, even though she still got one more year. But she had a lot of stuff going on. Like she worked a couple jobs, and she's actually an assistant coach right now for North Georgia United, which is like a semi-professional soccer team. Oh, wow. So congrats to her on that job. So a lot of cool things. And then at the end of the 23-24 season, obviously, we did a lot of things. We grew as a group. We just kind of built a plan on how to keep going. And Matthew had to graduate, unfortunately. So he graduated last fall. And do you know the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
So funny enough, I've seen it. Yeah. And I texted Chaz before on my way over here, and I was like, "So did this guy start the Banana Boys?" He was like, "No, he's like number 2 or 3." The guy who started it, and then he mentioned the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. But tell me about that.
Yeah, so
I might need to connect with him on that.
Well, he's actually back now because that just ended. But yeah, no. So he applied to that back last December 2023. That's when they do applications. So he was having interviews all throughout that spring semester before he graduated. And they target like new college grads because one, they don't have a lot of like stuff to come back to because obviously you're on the road for a year. So you're doing a lot of traveling and like working on the weekends, and it pays a decent amount, but the main thing is that you're not paying for rent. So you're taking out $1,000 to $1,500 times 12. So the pay kind of makes a little bit more sense, and you're able to, one, you could pay off your student loan debt, or two, if you don't have student loan debt, I think Matthew didn't graduate with any, he's just able to bank a lot of that into his savings and also travel across the country, which is just really fun. And I know that he's had a good time doing that. He actually got to come back to Kennesaw with the Wienermobile, which was pretty cool. So we got to take pictures in that. And then a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you saw at the Indy 500, the day before they did the Wiener 500, where they had all of the Wienermobiles come to the Indy 500 and they did a race before, and
Matthew won.
Well, yeah, Matthew won. So he wasn't driving, still won though. I mean, I'm sure he had a part in that. His partner, Ellie, she was actually driving. So they partner up so that you're not driving by yourself across the country. So they have 12 applicants and 12 Wiener drivers, so in 6 cars. So they pair up for like 6 months and you go out to like a specific region and you're just doing like events at like different like grocery stores or whatever, just festivals, stuff like that. And then you come back to Wisconsin. That's where they all are, or that's like where their headquarters. And then they switch partners and they go out for a different region for another 6 months. So they kind of do it like that. And then that lasts a year and then you're done. And then you don't do it again. So now he actually has to come back and get a real job. Yeah. So he just ended that, I think, last Sunday, I'm pretty sure was the end of it, June 2nd.
Yeah.
Or I guess that was last Saturday. Sorry, my throat is hurting. I'm not used to talking this long. Yeah. So he got to do that. And obviously winning the Wiener 500, Pat McAfee, he covered that.
That's fire.
It's a lot of cool media exposure. He got a ton of cool photos and a ton of great stories, I'm sure, to go through that. So I'm ready to listen to all those stories when we get to hang out again, because I haven't seen him for basically a year, besides the time that I got to see him on campus like a couple months ago.
Sure.
So I know it is probably challenging being on the road for a year and being away from your family and friends.
Yeah.
But you get to do it for a year. Experience. And then, I've thought about applying for this next year. The World Cup is starting like after they start, so I wouldn't be able to go to the games. And also just my obsession with sports, you work basically every weekend, so like I wouldn't be able to watch my Falcons games. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna apply and see if I get it. Now they get like 7,000 applicants and they have 12 people. So it's harder to get into the Wienermobiles than it is to get into Harvard or any of the top universities.
Which is fun to think about.
Yeah. So it's really challenging. Not saying like I would get it, but I'm going to at least throw my hat in the ring. And if I get the offer, then I can make the decision then.
Sure.
But I probably won't get the offer. So.
How fire to have on your resume that you won the Wiener 500.
Yeah, that's like not only being the Wienermobile driver, but just that was super crazy. I wasn't able to watch it because like I was on the beach, but Cole, he like texted, he was like, Matthew won. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing. So it was just super cool. But yeah, so he's the founder. He's done a lot of great things, and he did leverage his banana experience into that job. So that's kind of a big thing. You got to be like a personable person. Of course, you're doing marketing, so you got to be able to talk and have good people skills. So that's, if anything, I know my parents kind of give me a little bit of flack that I spend a lot of time on the bananas and going to sports games, but it's also really great connections and marketing. Like Absolutely. I wouldn't have met Chaz if I didn't do this. I wouldn't have been in contact with a lot of the SIDs, the information
New Realm
directors.
Internship probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have met Chaz, I wouldn't have had that. So I got an internship out of that
experience.
I wouldn't have met the ADs, or all of the athletic directors. I wouldn't have met the president a couple times. When we were at March Madness, Milton, he came over to us. He was like, hey, I'm going to take you over to the suite to meet some of the donors and the president, or Kathy Schwag. And I was like, okay. So we started going over there, and like every 5 seconds, people stopped us and asked for pictures. And I could see Milton getting frustrated on the side. He was like, oh goodness. So it took like 20 minutes to walk like 10 suites over to get there. But we got pictures with her and her family, which was really cool. So being able to meet the president was just an honor.
Yeah.
It's just not something that every college kid gets to do. So I've definitely unlocked these different experiences, and definitely perks too. Cause like, if we just went as like passionate students, I don't say that we do it like have the bananas, like it kind of started as kind of a gimmick because Matthew did it, but it also matches with the colors. Like our colors are yellow, black, or gold, black, and white, and the bananas are gold and black. We have the logos on them, and we just do get some perks that other students may not get,
Sure.
but we do put in that time and dedication to make that worth the team's while. So like in this past March for spring break, we went to Huntsville, Alabama for the Conference USA basketball championship, and they paid for our hotel and our tickets. We got free tickets. So it's just stuff like that. They put back into us as much effort as we put back into them, but we're still paying for our gas and our food to go there. Sure. It's expensive to do that. Yeah.
So that I understand correctly, while it sounds like you've earned a respect and appreciation by the university itself, you're not directly affiliated with them. Like if KSU went under, it's not affecting you guys, besides the fact that you can't go to the sports games. You're not directly affiliated with KSU. You are not the official KSU Banana Boys.
Of course
Would
not.
that be the goal? Like, is that like something that you guys have talked about?
I'm not sure. So we have actually talked about this extensively, being a club at KSU, but I think it's not necessarily the best thing for our organization because we want to kind of keep control of how we do things, how we do structured things. We just, we're technically not affiliated, but they do help us out with a lot of stuff. Milton actually paid for our LLC filing out of his own pocket, and we're really appreciative for that.
So it is its own official business.
We are a business because we had to get an EIN number to set up a bank account. We set it up with Fifth Third, the sponsor of Kennesaw State Athletics.
Of course
so
you did.
I had to do that.
So what do you, I mean, how are you, how am I trying to ask this? Are you making money?
No.
As the Banana Boy? I mean, like, how are you? Is it like a nonprofit organization? Like, are you guys going to sell merch? Like, what's the goal there with the business?
I am working on merch. I had a couple meetings this past spring.
Let's freaking go.
With some of the people. Obviously, like, we can't trademark the Banana Boy logo because it does have like a scrappy face in it.
Yeah.
That's what the marketing guy the licensing guy told me, which is fair.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to move forward with like a pop-up shop sometime in the fall. I think that's the best option. At least that's what the licensing guy told me after talking with some of the other athletic directors. That's probably our best move going forward. So I am going to start working on that once I get some of my summer class work done. I could honestly do most of that. I'll probably sit down one day and get most of my summer class done and just get that out of the way. Then I can start working on it. Obviously, we're not going to launch it right now because we don't have, probably during football season, though, is the best time to launch that. So I got to start working on just some of the designs and stuff for that. So hopefully we will have merch soon and we'll get royalties from that percentage. I'm not sure exactly how much that's going to be, but we did get one sponsorship from Uptown Cheapskate. They gave us like $200. Partly we used some of that for snacks because that's what they wanted us to use it for like our tabling event. So we did use some of that, and then we just have that money in the account, and then just like what's left over from membership dues, it's like $50, and most of that
membership dues.
Well, yeah, just every new member that joins, it's $50 because we got to pay for the banana. So they give us the money, we get them the banana and the logo, and then there's like a couple bucks left over that just go into the account for like gas.
Sure.
And that's most of our money is paying for
travel expenses. Gas.
Yeah. Because that's really the only thing we need money for. We can't give ourselves a salary.
Yeah. No.
So that's what we do. We've had a lot of fun travel things though. Joel and Cole both went to Canada this past November like Thanksgiving break because our holiday tournament was there. So they got to go to that. I would have gone with them, but I had already had a flight leaving for the Dominican Republic, which was fun. Yeah. But so that was nice, but I would have also liked to go to Canada, but I've had plenty of travel myself. 2024, 23. March of like 2024, I went up to Eastern Kentucky by myself for the first round of the ASUN championship. And I like turned off my location and blocked my mom from my story because they didn't know I was going. It was on a Monday too. So I didn't have any class on Monday. So I drove up. I went to the game. We actually lost to we lost to Jacksonville. It was in Eastern Kentucky because the way that they did it, we were like the 9 seed and the 9 played the 10. And then the next day they played the 1 seed. So they played the first round at a neutral site. So it was like me and like 10 other people in the whole stadium. So the players could hear everything I was saying. And we don't trash talk a lot. We do trash talk some, but it's not to like any personal level, or like we're not saying like, oh, your mom this, your mom that, or like,
Sure.
It's just about the game and just distracting, like during free throws and stuff.
Sure.
And just like calling out if they're flopping or whatever.
That's normal.
Yeah, it's just normal. We just never take it too extreme. But most of the time, we're just there to support our athletes and just cheer on our athletes. But basketball gets intense, and we do like to trash talk sometimes, especially basketball.
For sure. I mean, It's fun to talk shit. I mean,
yeah.
No matter who you are, no matter who you support, it's just fun to talk shit.
Yeah.
But, well, dude, so we've talked a lot about marketing, and, there's a lot of businesses out there that need help with their marketing, man. A lot of people struggle. So if you're looking to elevate your business and your brand, Hammerhead Creations can be there to help. They offer top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, and Google page optimization, ensuring that your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team is here to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting, Hammerhead Creations offers full support for both in-house shows and external podcast creation. From concepts to production, they help you bring your ideas to life. Visit hammerheadcreations.com and discover how they can take your business or show to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks. Colin, there comes a point in every conversation I have with my guests where I ask them a collection of questions that have nothing to do with the Banana Boys or your marketing goals or your career goals, but more just they kind of align with you as a person, you as an everyday dude. Are you ready for these questions? What is your favorite movie?
Oh, God. I don't watch a lot of movies.
I was going to say, you give off the vibe of a dude that doesn't watch a lot of movies.
No. I mean, we watch Elf every year at Christmas. That's a pretty damn good movie. Yeah, I'll go with Elf just because I've watched it so many times. It's classic. It's really, I'd say
you
Elf.
can quote it front to back probably at this point.
Pretty much.
Your first job ever, what was it? The first time you collected a paycheck?
Okay, so my first job, I started when I was 15 on New Year's Eve. I'm sleeping and my mom busts in my room. She's like, Colin, you want to work tonight? I was like, I guess. She was like, you want $100? I was like, yeah. She was like, well, this guy posted on Facebook he needs help tonight at the restaurant. And it was this place called Noble Finn. And it was like it was like a really fancy seafood restaurant. And I was like, sure. And I went in. I've never worked in a restaurant before because first job. And I was just kind of like a server assistant, like refilling waters, not even like a busboy, just like polishing silverware, rolling silverware, just getting whatever, like simple tasks like that. And I got $100 cash. But all of like the servers and the bartenders, they all said I did like a great job. And even Cliff, he was the owner. He was like, you did a fantastic job. Some of the kids that I get in here that I get to do this stuff, because it was New Year's Eve, it was a very busy night, of course. He was like, they're kind of not very good. He was like, on Valentine's Day, I'm going to have you come back. And if you do a really good job again, like that weekend, I'm going to have you come back and I'll pay you in cash. But if you do really good, then you can work here. I was like, great. So I did good over Valentine's weekend and he offered me a job. So I started working there. And they ended up closing like completely and shutting down completely during COVID just because his margins were so thin. But that's because he paid his employees very, very well.
Well, that's nice.
And I got like an hourly. I think it was minimum wage. It was like $7.25. But I got a
bro. This is a 16-year-old, $20 or $30 an hour. That's like you're rich.
Yeah. So I made a ton of money. That's why I put into socks. I put a lot of that into socks.
Okay, cool.
So I worked there up until like June, then they shut down. But either way, Cliff, he was a fantastic boss, and it was a great experience. Then I went to Chick-fil-A like after the summer, and I started working there. And I went to this place called Uncle Jack's Meat House as my next job, because I quit Chick-fil-A because I thought all of like the fine dining restaurants I was going to get paid like that. And I started making like 15 an hour at like Uncle Jack's because I got a percent of tips. And then it just started going down and down and down. I was like, can't do this anymore. Well, actually, they lied to me and said that I could start, Uncle Jack's Meat House did. They said I could start training as a server once I turned 18. It was like 2 weeks before. And I had talked to the manager about this like throughout this time that I was working there. And they were like, oh, I don't really think this is a entry-level server position. I was like, so you lied to me. I was like, all right, I quit. And I was like, 2 weeks, there you go. And then I started working at Chipotle. I had a lot of jobs in high school.
Wow.
And then Napa, so Chipotle, Napa, and then Taco Bell. So I had like 6 jobs. And then plus refereeing for soccer and painting lines. I actually still paint lines for the soccer club that I used to play at. In the beginning of the season, I go, and it takes a while, but I get paid like $550. And then I get like 165 every other week to go back and paint.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really good college money.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, yeah, that's another way that I make money. Yeah, I have a lot of different like niche little jobs. I also do taste tests a lot for money. I don't know if you've ever done those. There are a bunch of like marketing research companies like Compass and Jackson Marketing. You sign up and you go in, you taste food, they give you money. So you get free lunch and money to go taste and give your opinion.
Fire.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. You get to organize a music festival and you get to pick your 3 headliners. Who are your 3 headliners?
3 headliners.
They can be alive or dead.
Okay. Oh, man. Let me look through my
look at that library
real quick.
Pull the library
Let me just make sure. I'll go. One of them is going to be Phoebe Bridgers. I love Phoebe Bridgers. This is all going to be sad music. I listen to a lot of sad music.
That's okay. Sad music is easier to listen to.
Definitely Phoebe Bridgers. Going to probably go Ronald Fonte. Okay. I doubt anybody listening knows who that is. Anyone that I've ever talked to, no clue. He makes really great lyrical. I love lyrical music, if anything. And then, I'll throw in Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah. So a really weird combination. But no, not Kendrick. Flatland Cavalry. Okay. I love them. They're one of the 2 people that I've ever seen in concert. Well, they're a band, but I saw Zach Bryan, and then I've seen Flatland Cavalry twice.
Very cool.
So I'd say, I'll go with those 3.
Okay, that's a good group. On a day that you aren't working or schooling and you are getting like a little self-care day in, how do you take care of yourself? How do you recharge?
Cleaning, organizing. I had like this first 2 weeks of summer, I was unemployed because I was trying to get a job. I first applied to Chipotle again, then Chick-fil-A hired me. But in the 1 free weekend that I had, I cleaned like everything in the house because I actually had time to, because I didn't have school or whatever, and I technically wasn't working at the time. So I like that. I mean, if I could afford it, I'd go get a massage every month, but I do like massages. Yeah, I mean, not a lot. I mean, exercise, even like, go to the gym. I like lifting weights now, so that's a good thing for me. Yeah, just sitting down, watching TV. I mean, good food. If I could binge out, I will. Definitely Chipotle, Mexican. Mexican food's my favorite. Sure. So Hattie B's is definitely one of my favorite meals. There's also this place, and Ian, if you're listening, you're going to get annoyed because of how much I talk about smoking pig. It's this barbecue restaurant that's on the way to Clemson. It's in Pendleton, so maybe like 10 minutes off. Best barbecue I've ever had in my life. It actually ruins. I can't go to any other barbecue place because it sucks so much compared to how good smoking pig is. The brisket is just phenomenal. The smoke ring on it is amazing. You don't need any knife. You just fork it and it's just tears right off. Their spicy barbecue sauce, the best sauce that I've ever had out of like any sauce ever. Their mac and cheese, phenomenal. Their bread, just phenomenal. It's just one of my top meals. What was the question? I realized I was talking about smoking pig.
Self-care.
Well, yeah.
If
when I get rid of my F-150 and I get a better car with better gas mileage, I would absolutely go and take a day trip and eat lunch at Smoking Pig, hang around Clemson, and then eat dinner there. Like, that would be a great day for me. Is just
That's
eating.
Sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is eating barbecue.
What is some of the best advice you've been given?
I think so. When I was driving back from Birmingham after that tennis tournament and I was thinking about switching from finance to marketing, I called Chaz and I asked him about it because I wanted to get his opinion. I was just thinking about it. And he just asked if I was – sorry, my mom's calling, but sorry, Mom. He asked if I was like really wanted to pursue this or if I was running away from finance. And that definitely took me like a while to think about. So I definitely pondered on that question. So it was more of a question as to advice, but, and he also talks about like having your board of directors.
Dude.
So kind of like, yeah, I know I listened to his episode on here and he talked about that a lot. And I think that is like a great thing. Even though I don't know if you know that he quit New Realm.
Know that.
Yeah.
He told me the other day.
Yeah. He just, he's starting at Can, I think. It's a hemp beverage company.
How do you feel about that?
Obviously, I'm a little disappointed. Not in him, but just disappointed that I'm not able to work with him anymore. Anna's now my new boss, and she's great as well. But Chaz is also still super cool. We still play tennis, and I still talk to him as well. It's just
the three of us should link up and go to a basketball game.
Absolutely,
that'd be fire.
yeah.
I've not been to one in probably 5 to 10 years, somewhere in there. So I would love to. In fact, funny enough, he texted me like 2 months ago, and he was like, "Hey, last minute, I know, but I got an extra seat for you at the basketball game. If you want to come through, I'm going to be hanging out with the Banana Boys."
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And I couldn't go. Yeah. And I was like, God damn it. Because I knew me and you had been texting at the time trying to figure, this out. And I was like, damn, that would have been a really good introduction too.
Yeah.
But I couldn't go. And ever since then, I've just been like, hey man, holler at me if you ever want to go to a game or something. So the three of us should definitely link up and do that.
Oh yeah. So.
But okay, sweet. So Chaz is definitely on your board of directors.
Absolutely.
He has a seat on mine too.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to hear. And I think he'll think that's really cool to hear too. Because I mean, Chaz, you got to be listening to this, right? Yeah. Chaz, if you make it this far, text Colin and I in a group chat and text us something. Just be like, I made it this far or something like that. Just to see if he really makes it. Colin, what does success look like for you?
Oh, and bouncing off of that real quick, Banana Boys, if you made it this far, text me and say bananas. I don't know.
Hey, that's a good thought.
Yeah, I'm putting this in there to make sure that you listen to this full thing.
Wow. If they don't, then
you're gone, suspended.
We'll take that membership fee, but you're
out. Would you say success?
Yeah, what's success look like for you?
Say just to be happy with what I do in life. I mean, I could make money, but I mean, that'd be great. I mean, obviously, if I pursued finance more, I'd probably make more money, but would I really be happy doing that? Maybe not. If it was for a sports team, maybe, but I feel like just right now, having marketing as my major is going to get me a little bit maybe more into sports.
Sure.
And then once I break into that, maybe if I go back to school, then I can move into the finance part of sports. If I do want to pursue that later in life, I think this is just geared towards, again, I guess I'm kind of repeating myself, more of what I want to do. And just, I think this will make me happier. So just being happy in life, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to have a problem with maybe money. I mean, maybe if I have a kid. I don't know if I want kids yet, but kind of expensive. I always tell my parents that. They're like, you want kids? I'm kind of expensive. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But like those weeks when I was unemployed, like last month, I was dying. I cannot be unemployed. That sucked. I was like, I gotta do something. I was so bored that I was just like,
I feel that.
Yeah. I was just going on like 3-hour long walks, and I was like, gotta do something. Or I was just going to sleep early just because I was so bored. So I can't be unemployed for that long. I always got to be doing something. So just staying busy, and I'm successful in life if I witness personally a Falcons Super Bowl as well. I really want that. Michael Penix, please be the savior of Atlanta. I really hope he will be.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Colin, what's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear.
To never witness an Atlanta Super Bowl.
Yeah. Honestly, that if I die without an Atlanta Super Bowl, that would be devastating. Yeah. I think that is it. I don't have a fear of heights or anything. I'm actually texting the Banana Boys because we're gonna go skydiving. I've been twice. I've
never been.
It's awesome. I went the week after I turned 18. It was on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, but that's besides the point. And then I went like a year and a half later with
your birthday on 9/11.
No,
oh, okay.
It was the week after I turned 18. Okay. My birthday is on 9/5.
Okay.
So it was 6 days after, but yeah. So got to do that twice, and I want to take the Banana Boys.
Yeah, that's fire.
Because we also get a group discount. Well, I think the student discount's the same as the group discount. So
are you going in the costumes?
I asked them it last time, and they said we can't.
Is that a safety hazard?
Yeah. Unfortunately, but I can wear my Banana Boy merch. Well, my aunt she has a t-shirt business, so she mocked me up a couple of things. I'm not selling it legal purposes, merch licensing people. If you're watching this, haven't sold it. So she just made like me personally just to mock up some merch so I can see the ideas and see if it's going to look good on some merchandise.
But you could always wear the merch while you're falling.
Exactly. But it's also like $150 more to like film it, and I'm not paying that, so I'm not probably not going to film it. If we did have the banana suits, we could probably all like gather money together.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Damn. But yeah, no, they said safety hazard. They said only if you were like solo, you could do it, but you have to have like go through school and all that, and that costs a lot of money. I don't know, maybe when I'm an adult and I have a real adult and have real adult money. So I might, I could actually probably consider doing skydiving school.
So then lastly, Colin, what is your main motivator? What gets you up in the morning? What is your morning drive?
I mean, just to be successful in life. I know that I can't like sit around and do nothing all day. I mean,
for too long.
Just to stay busy and to do things that I enjoy. I try and gear my schooling and my life to things that I enjoy, things that I want to accomplish. Working out now, so I just get up every day, think about doing that. Just I don't know, nothing like any goal super specific right now. I can't really do much personally to get the Falcons a Super Bowl, but so I don't know. I mean, when I am older and have a job, that might change. Of course, my answers are going to change besides the Falcons, but nothing like too specific, but just to be successful in life in the way that I see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good answer. Well, now, Colin, go ahead and talk to the people directly and tell them how to find the Banana Boys, how to support the Banana Boys, how to support KSU, anything in between. Go ahead and promote what you want to promote.
Yeah. So we got I'll start with the Banana Boys. It's just at KSU Banana Boys, all lowercase, no spaces, on both TikTok, Instagram's our main platform. We post a little bit on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. That's stupid. It's Twitter. Always will be. And then on TikTok as well. We haven't really posted many TikToks, but if you want to follow us there, you can. The account that I run for New Realm, Owlin Logger, it's just that, all lower space, or lowercase and no spaces altogether. So Owl and Logger, if you could follow me on there, that would support me in actually being a successful intern. And then my main account is just Colin GT7, all lowercase, no spaces, on Instagram. And that's really the only thing I'm on is Instagram.
Very cool. Colin, dude, this was fun, man. I mean, thanks for being willing to come in here and talk to a complete stranger about who you are, what you do, and the Banana Boys. I mean, it's all really cool. I mean, it's really cool to see that, like, at a young age, you and these guys were like, we're going to start something. And yeah, it might go somewhere, it might not. But, like, it's gotten to the point where, like, the university is seeing you guys. Yeah. The athletic directors are seeing you. The coaches are seeing you. The fans are looking for you. Basically, if you're not at a sporting event at this point, people are like, where the hell are the Banana Boys?
Pretty much.
So it's really cool to see what you guys have built, man. It's really cool. And just to know that, like, you are, you know, you share Chaz with me in like a kind of a mentor board of directors seat, kind of, is really cool. I'm sure we'll see each other around here and there. We should definitely do a game, but I'm just happy to have gotten this chance to get to know you, man. It was really cool.
Yeah, I was super excited for this leading up to it. I was wondering, you said April or May and it ended up going into June, but that's fine. But I was excited for this day to actually do this, be my first actual podcast besides just a little segment here and there. But I mean, that's also fun. Yeah, no, I'm glad that we were able to do this. I know my parents are excited. My mom was like, are you going to send the link? She texted me earlier. I was like, it's not a live podcast. So you got to wait like a month, Mom. Sorry.
Yeah, Mom. Sorry. We're looking at like mid-July on this one. So just mid-July, late July, somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
Of course, I'll let you know when it comes out so you can plug it and promote it and share it with the Banana Boys and everybody else. But yeah, dude, thank you so much, guys. We'll make sure to throw the link to the socials for the Banana Boys in the description of the episode so that if you're interested in what we talked about, you can just go down and check them out. Look for them at the KSU games. Go up to them, say, hey, we heard you on your morning drive. Shout out to the Banana Boys for all that they do for KSU athletics. It's really good stuff. And as a former Owl myself, it's just really cool to see. And, you know, a champion of college athletics. And, you know, again, it really spoke to me and just kind of like, it was really cool to hear you talk about like the fact that like a lot of athletes, like they don't have support here. So for you guys to be that support is just really cool. So yeah, follow them, follow me. Thank you to Good Days. Thank you to Fireworks. Thank you to Hammerhead for supporting the episode. And we will catch you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.